So Dan Martell says that if your business can't grow without you involved in the day-to-day, then you don't really own a business. You just have a job. And then Ryan Dice also says that one of the best ways to put your business success to the test is going on a 30-day vacation and just seeing if it'll continue to run without you. So I thought in this video I might share a little bit about my story in my past, where I've started many businesses, but my first business in the wedding industry, video production, I really had to do this. I had to put it to the test. And so I just kind of wanted to think back a little bit and share, just kind of free form talking here about the things that I learned and how we did that, because I actually had to do that. I actually was able to leave for 6 months and the business continued to run. It continued to perform. It even made it through COVID without me. And then when I got back, things were moving forward. Things were even growing without me. And so I just saw that as a great opportunity to put the business to the test, and it just kind of showed me the power of systems, the power of a great team, and the power of automation. And so if I go back in 2017 when I started my first business, it started as a video production company, and my brother and I had started it together. He was the videographer. He understood editing and film, and about 4 or 5 months into the business, he decided that being a business owner wasn't quite what he wanted to do at the time. And so on good terms, we just kind of separated at that point. I kept the business and he moved on. But to me, that meant I had no idea how I was going to be able to continue to grow the business and run it without having somebody on the team that could take authority or responsibility and accountability over video editing, making sure that we had some good creative direction. And so I had to start contract. It forced me into systems. So I started to hire contractors and bring on teams. And then what that did for me is I had to focus more on sales to be able to afford and pay for all of these team members. And at the time I was literally using Apple Notes, right? And so I was just going into my Notes app and just keeping track of all the customers that I was talking with. And I knew that this just wasn't sustainable. I was getting lots of conversations with people at the time, and I had to figure out a better way to track and remember, who have I followed up with? Who have I not followed up with? What did they say on our last conversation? So from there, I began to do a little bit of research, and I found what's called a CRM, right? And anybody that's been in business for a long time, this is a no-brainer. But when you're just starting out in business, you probably don't know what you need to know. And so I found CRMs and started to explore the different ones out there. And a CRM is a customer relationship management tool. This is how you manage the customers that you're talking with and the journey from when you first start to talk to a customer to when you actually bring them on as a paid client. And so this CRM system is the number one thing that took us from $6,000 a month, and overnight it was like we were doing 12, 15, 20 grand. It just rapidly grew the business because we had put a system in place. Now, fast forwarding a little bit, we really started to ramp up our advertising and getting a lot more leads in. But at the time, the tool that I was using did not have some kind of integration with my CRM. And so we would get a lead and I would have to manually enter all of their information in. And we got to the point where we were getting a lot of leads. I couldn't manually enter all of this information in. So it forced me again to find systems, find tools, find ways to really rapidly do the same tasks, but faster. So that's where I discovered Zapier at the time. This was all before AI. This was all before I knew how to code and knew how to really truly automate things. And so I found some cool tools with Zapier, a no-code automation platform, to be able to automate when a lead came in. I would be able to scrape this email, pull their information, and automatically add them into my CRM. And what that did for me is it showed me I'm actually able to do other automations because that happens automatically for me. So instead of having to spend time manually putting these leads in, I could pick up the phone and call people faster. I could negotiate more. I could work with these clients more. And so it began to grow the business even more. And I was able to bring in some other team members onto the team. When I brought in a sales representative and he could take over a lot of those conversations for me, I wanted to spend more time on how do we automate maybe follow-up, or how fast we're able to get somebody to book an appointment. That's where we brought in a tool called Calendly, where people could actually just click on a link and schedule an appointment. And then because we were automatically dropping all of these leads into the CRM, we were able to automatically send a message to them via email with the link so they can just book a call. And that ramped up how many appointments that we were getting. And so we were just stacking these automations to where eventually Everything was happening on autopilot. Lead comes in, automatically gets entered into the CRM. They automatically get an email with the link to schedule a call. The people that don't schedule a call, we follow up with them for months. Eventually, we would have customers coming in saying, you followed up for 6 or 7 months straight, multiple times a week. Now we're ready to make a decision, and you were the first one to come to mind. And so we found the value of automation to be able to stabilize the business and allow us to continue to grow. And then we surrounded our internal team with more systems, more tools, more pieces of software to be able to help our team be able to manage a lot of projects. If I look back, I don't know what our biggest year was. It's been a long time. But I know that the year that I sold that business, the month that I finished up the projects and handed this business over to the person that bought the business, we did 52 weddings. We booked 52 new wedding clients that month. And that was, at the scale of being able to book 500, 600 weddings a year. So a very big national wedding video production company at the time. And so this showed me the power of automations. And so in 2019, when the business was kind of running on autopilot, I had this dream of joining the military since I was in high school, and I just never did. And so the business was running itself, and I was looking for another challenge. And I decided this was my opportunity to take the chance to go spend 6 months for active duty training. And so I enlisted in the Marine Corps Reserves at the time and left for 6 months. I'd been married 5 years at the time. I'd been running this business, had this whole civilian career, and I was able to leave for 6 months and be completely detached from the business. I had other people on the team, phenomenal team, that were running the business, running the systems that we built to make sure that the business could continue to run. And 6 months later, when I came back, everything was still running the same as when I'd left. And they actually went through the entirety of the government shutdown, the whole country shut down in March of 2020. And they made it through that without me, because I had a great team. They knew how to spend their time and attention on solving problems because they weren't bogged down with entering leads into a CRM or things like that. And so, it really showed me the power of that. So when I sold that business in 2021, I just naturally moved into consulting with small businesses and helping them find ways to put systems, automations, and tools into place. This was all before AI. So in 2022, as you can imagine, when AI came out, this was amazing for me. This is the opportunity to put automation into play in a way that I could never have imagined. And so we really started to learn what's the possibility with AI, how can we really use this to help business owners. And so now at Madewell AI, this is 100% of what we do. We exist to give business owners back their time, and we use AI to do that. Sometimes it's not AI in automation, but the majority of the time, AI is going to level up the quality of an automation that you build in your business. And so I'm just a big believer in automation, a big believer in systems. I've heard it said, I'm not sure who said this to begin with, but they said you don't rise to the level of your potential, but you fall to the level of your systems. And so having good systems in place, you do that before automation, and then you automate those systems. And that is where AI can really come in and take a great system in your business and begin to automate it. And it's worth saying, I've worked with clients where they don't have any systems yet. It's hard to automate things when you don't have a good system in place. And so that's where sometimes we have to consult and advise some of our clients on, hey, we need to focus on these systems with humans before you start to automate some things. When I was just entering leads into the CRM, I knew exactly what was happening every day because I had to do it all the time manually. And then when I put in an automation, it was very easy because I knew exactly what needed to happen. Step 1, step 2, step 3, where the information goes, how to access that information. And so if you don't have any systems put in place, focus on systems. There's great tools out there on how to find ways to document your flow. I always recommend just kind of recording anything that you do repetitively, record that process. Don't do it without writing it down or recording a screen share or something to make sure that you have a documented process of anything that is repetitive. Once you have it documented, then you can train your team. This is how we handle this system. This is how we hire new people. This is how we enter leads into the CRM. This is how we handle a sales presentation over the phone. You ask these questions, you give them these answers, and then afterwards you make sure to send over a follow-up email. That is documentation. Another term for this is SOP, Standard Operating Procedure. And so when you start to put all of these systems in place in your business already begins to have a foundation. It can fall to the level of your systems. And this is where you are in a prime position for automation or AI or some type of technology solution to level up the stability of your foundation, your systems, by implementing some of these automations in your business. And so I love working with clients on this. This is where we really start to nerd out and help our clients say, okay, you're manually entering data here. We can implement AI for that. You're manually having to send these follow-up emails after every sales call. We can automate that with AI. Take those transcripts, automatically create a summary and send that email over. These are things that really give your team back their time so that when you hit a COVID or you hit some type of situation in your business that requires a lot of creative brain power and problem solving, you're not stuck spending all of your time on repetitive, tedious tasks in your business. We want to be able to give you time back, free your team up to be able to do their best work. And so super passionate about that. And I just like to look back at the ways that I've had the opportunity to have to go through that myself. And it's not a one and done. If you start a new business or you start a new department or you launch a new product in your business, you're going to have to reinvent new systems. And so this is something even now I have to catch myself. Even in my current business, I have to stop and say, is there a way to put a system in place because I'm having to do this over and over again? And so the first thing I always like to use as the indicator, this is an indication that I need to put a system in place for this, is I had to do it more than once. If you have to do something more than once, put a system in place. Document it, systemize it, train your team, and then you can automate it. And so that's the flow that I like to follow, and I'm still having to do this today. I'm not a master of it by any means, but this is something that I'm really passionate about because I'm passionate about giving people back their time. I got into business because I wanted to have the freedom of time to be able to invest in my family, invest in my community, and we want to help business owners and employees at businesses do the same. And so if that is something that you guys need help with, we would love to talk with you. We actually have an AI Opportunity Audit that you can click in the description. There's a link there. And you can just schedule a call with somebody from our team. We'll basically ask a lot of those questions of what are the systems that you are using today to run your business or run some of these tasks. And we'll basically give our 2 cents on here's how you can implement automation and AI into the flow of your current systems. And so we love doing that. It's a free 30-minute call with somebody from our team. So feel free to click that link in the description, but I love working with clients to help them get their time back. And I just wanted to kind of walk through some of my story of how I had to walk through that in my own business and how we might be able to help you with that in yours. But thanks for listening.